How do you think we create value or wealth or abundance in our world?
Sure, repeat that please.
How do you think we can create abundance?
Abundance.
It's not about creation, it's about acknowledgement.
I don't want to sound hippish, just be grateful.
The world has given us, it continues to give us so much, makes so much available to us, but we share it out in ways that, don't serve us as a whole.
Living in the present, being grateful for what you have. I think that creates a culture of abundance.
There are limitations to what the world can offer us now. And once we recognize that, I think then we can become, so to speak, more frugal. And that, in that way, I think, is how we would potentially create abundance.
How can we create abundance in our world?
Do we really need abundance in our world? We need what we can make use of. In my culture or tradition, we grew up where we were taught to share.
Well, I think it's all about sharing. It's all about sharing information, capacitating one another, and building self-esteem.
There's definitely people out there that's making the effort to do that, to be able to share the natural wealth. They are teaching people how to grow foods, out of their own gardens and all those things. So I think that's also a level of sharing. It's not just about spreading, if you want to call, the wealth on a monetary level. I think that abundance needs to come from all different angles.
Corporates have always been focused on shareholders' value, and that is making profits continuously, and if it drops, there's something wrong. And when you do corporate social investments, it's just to improve your corporate reputation. It's not really because you think societal issues are something you need to deal with. So it's always at the periphery of doing business. It's something that you have to deal with because it's a necessary evil. So I think to create shared value, that type of mentality has to change.
We face significant challenges, and those significant challenges are shared. So recognizing that this shared resource is ultimately what is required to create this shared value. If we don't recognize that, then we cannot be able to actually create this shared value that we're talking about. And to achieve that, primarily we need to have conversations.
The means we created is interaction with others. And it's this, you can either collaborate with someone because you're told to, or you can collaborate because you want to achieve a common goal and you want to. And I think it's in the collaboration that's as much, as important as the outcome of the collaboration is how you collaborate.
What would make for good collaboration?
Don't get too angry too quickly. Have a sense of humor. Make a bit of effort. And be prepared to give up a few privileges for better privileges in the future.
So if you want a shared vision, you want a common goal, you want something that we are all working towards and pulling towards collectively, there's got to be a sense of ownership and a sense of investment. Are we involving people? When we are sketching this new vision, when we are sketching this new future that we have in mind, or when we are laying out the blueprints for it, are we inviting people to contribute, and are we inviting people to get involved with that planning phase? Because if it's just something that's handed down and we are being told, this is the new tomorrow, this is this bright new future that we're all going to work towards, there might not be that immediate sense of ownership from everybody.
Before we can get to a sense of shared value, we have to get to a sense of being less individual entities sitting on the planet, and more part of a whole. And we need both. We need to have a stronger sense of who we are as individuals and a stronger sense of who we are as a collective.
We need to develop community again. We need to start taking responsibility as human beings for our own value and how easily we give it away. You just toss it out the window because we have a diminished sense of self-worth. So there's a personal healing that has to happen in every human being, an awakening to their own personal value and how important it is to focus that harmoniously into the world. If you do it properly, the relationships that build between you and the rest of existence, whether it's nature or people, are going to generate value.
At smaller group levels, we can have shared values. We meet at clubs, we join campaigns to deal with cleaning the rivers or things like that. And the real challenge is that, can we have a shared value and way of cooperating about the more macro stuff, the direction of the economy in the future, dealing with climate change? How do we manifest those shared values?
Everyone is expecting someone else to sort out the problem, and no one is doing anything, you know. So how do we turn that around, that, you know, to appreciate this common resource?
You know, the problems we have now, we haven't come up with any new solutions to solve them. We're using the same old things, and yet we're wanting to create kind of, I would call it a new world order. And I think we should start questioning everything we have, actually, if we really, really want to create value and a shared sort of value. I think we should really, really question the current global systems we have, even questioning the borders that separate us as African countries. Okay, how was this border created? And why is there not enough interregional trade amongst each other? And what is stopping us from trading with each other? That's the only way to dismantle the current systems that are not working for us, I believe. Then we would create a new shared value.